Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. In this video, I will be going over the new 4K Ultra HD pre-orders and announcements for April 28th, 2023. Now keep in mind release dates and technical specs are subject to change. If there are any changes or additional retailer exclusives, I will update them in a future video. Also, be sure to check out my previous 4K pre-order videos for titles you may be looking for and were not covered here. Direct Amazon links to the titles listed in this video when they are live can be found on the channel's community page. On June 27th, National Lampoon's Vacation is coming to 4K Blu Ray. Now, as far as tech specs go, I'm expecting HDR and DTS audio, probably the same track from the previous release, and there is also something called a collector's edition for the film. Now, I'm not entirely convinced this is going to be sold here in the States, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Neither one of these are currently up for pre-order. I expect that to change probably in the very near future, so stay tuned to the channel's community page when that listing goes live. July 4th, we'll see the 4K release of The Truman Show from Paramount. Now, if we're going based off of previous tech specs of these 4K releases from Paramount, I would fully expect HDR and Dolby Vision and probably the same Dolby True HD audio mix from the previous release. There doesn't appear to be any steelbooks or special editions for this one, but I'm pretty excited to check it out nonetheless, and once again, you can pick up your copy on July 4th. While the pre-order has been active for some time now, it looks like we have an official release date for Scream 6, and that will be July 11th. HDR and Dolby Vision are going to be included, as well as Dolby Atmos for the audio. There is also a non-exclusive steelbook edition of the film available at various online retailers. Both the slipcover and steelbook are currently up for pre-order, and you can check out the community page for direct links. In a bit of a welcome surprise, Arrow Video has announced that the Martin Scorsese film Hugo is coming to 4K on July 18th. HDR and Dolby Vision are going to be included, as well as a DTS 7.1. Now, for you 3D Blu-ray fans, it will also include the 3D Blu-ray version of the film that will be part of this set. So whether you go with standard blue, 3D, or the new 4K, you can get your copy of Hugo on July 18th. Early retailer listings have the film Two Guns starring Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg arriving on 4K from Universal on August 1st. Now, we don't have official artwork or tech specs, but HDR is probably a sure thing, and at the very least, the DTS audio from the previous release, but they may even upgrade the audio here. Stay tuned when this 4K becomes official, and I will of course update the community page. If you've been a longtime follower of the channel, you know that Enter the Dragon on 4K was pre-announced a couple videos back. Well, it looks like we now have a firm release date of August 8th. We still don't have tech specs or cover art, but once again, stay tuned to the channel for that additional information. On August 15th, it looks like the 4K edition of City of the Living Dead will be arriving. It is expected to support HDR and Dolby Vision and DTS for the audio. It's not currently up for pre-order, but I expect that to change in the very near future. Another previously announced 4K pre-order has been given a supposed release date, and that is going to be George Lucas's American Graffiti, and the apparent release date will be August 29th. Once again, stay tuned to the channel for more additional information when it becomes available. Blue Underground's 4K release of The Girl from Rio is coming to 4K, and the release date has not been announced, but they did officially reveal the tech specs, HDR and Dolby Vision, and DTS for the audio. While this doesn't fall under the rumor category, but it's not really an official announcement, supposedly the 4K edition of Shine will be coming sometime in 2023. We don't have any information about a release date or tech specs, but once again, stay tuned to the channel when that becomes available. Sometime in 2023, the boutique label Dark Force will be releasing the 4K of Mirror Mirror. HDR is probably going to be expected for this release and the same DTS audio from a previous edition. Sometime in 2023, Synapse will be releasing the 4K edition of the 1986 film Trick or Treat. Don't get this confused with the 2007 Michael Dougherty film. That is Trick or Treat, and hopefully one day we'll see a 4K of that one as well. There are a couple of 4K international pre-orders and announcements to go over, and don't forget, most 4K releases are region-free, so feel free to import them to the States. On June 1st, the 4K edition of Dario Argento's Four Flies on Grey Velvet will be coming to that region. It is expected to support HDR and Dolby Vision and DTS for the audio. Additionally, Dario Argento's Opera is also coming to 4K on the same day. I do believe this is the first time that particular film has hit 4K in any market, so hopefully a US release will be forthcoming. Germany will also be getting the release of Limbo on 4K, and that date will be June 23rd. Now, I'm seeing rumblings that a US release will be also coming sometime later in the summer, so stay tuned to the channel when that information becomes available. Director Wong Kar-wai has a few of his films coming out on 4K in France in June, and first up, As Tears Go By will be coming out on June 28th. Now, we don't have official tech specs, but if it's anything like the release of In the Mood for Love, I may not expect to see HDR grading on this one, but once again, stay tuned to the channel when that information becomes updated. And also on the same day, Days of Being Wild is also being released on 4K. Now, before you consider importing either of these films, keep in mind, neither one of these will support English subtitles, but I expect US domestic releases to happen sometime in the near future. On June 30th in Germany, the 4K edition of Sakura will be coming out. I'm also seeing rumors of a 4K domestic release, so I may wait for that edition, but I'm pretty excited to check it out for myself, and it will supposedly support HDR. Now, I have DTS audio listed here. It very well could be an Atmos track, but we don't have official specs yet. Listed as coming sometime by the end of June, France will be getting the Droutman's Contract on 4K. The label behind this has indicated HDR and Dolby Vision are going to be included, as well as DTS audio. On July 23rd, it looks like Germany will be getting the 4K edition of The Whale. Now, there will be two separate versions coming out. The one with Brandon Fraser's face there, that will be available at many online retailers, and the blue cover looks to be an Amazon exclusive. Now, what this tells me is I would fully expect to see a domestic US release, maybe from A24 as a web store exclusive, coming sometime hopefully before the end of the year. It looks like sometime in the next few months, the 4K edition of Ari Aster's Beau is Afraid will be coming to Germany. I'm also seeing an Amazon listing for a French release. No word yet if a domestic United States edition will be coming, but I think that will be the case whether it is released by Lionsgate or let's say even an A24 website exclusive. So no matter what, it looks like a 4K physical copy will be out there in the wild, whether you have to import it or a domestic release, but stay tuned to the channel for that information. Sometime, presumably in 2023, Germany will be getting a 4K double feature of A Pistol for Ringo and The Return of Ringo. And it looks like here HDR will be included and DTS for the audio. Currently up for pre-order over at the Amazon UK website, it looks like the 4K edition of Evil Dead Rise will be arriving sometime in 2023. There will also be a non-exclusive Steelbook edition, which is also available for pre-order over at Amazon. Now, as a side note, it does not look, as of right now, that a US domestic release of the 4K will be available. I really don't like when they do this. This kind of stinks. So as of right now, I'm going to be importing, at least for me, the Steelbook, and maybe one day we'll see a domestic 4K, but this is really unfortunate that they do this. But at the very least, you do have the option, even if it is importing. So I would definitely hop on this one right now if you're going to be picking up the 4K. So those are this week's 4K pre-orders and announcements for April 28th, 2023. Don't forget to use the direct Amazon links in the channel's community page if you're interested in any of these titles. Also, be sure to let me know in the comments section what titles listed in this video you're planning to pick up for yourself. And finally, a special thank you to my Patreons for your continued support. It is very much appreciated. If you would like to support me through Patreon, I will leave a link in the description of this video. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.